Hey, what's up, guys? You got VideoGameVotary here, and welcome to another episode of your source for Nintendo Switch 2 coverage. So, of course, we just had all the pre-order madness happening and take place. I was able to secure my pre-order. If you didn't catch that, I'm going to link that video up in the card somewhere here so you can check that out, so you can kind of hear about my experience. But as I'm monitoring everything with the Switch 2, there is a topic that is pretty controversial amongst the Switch 2 conversation, with that being the game key cards. Now, me being one of the biggest advocates and kind of defending Nintendo with these game key cards, I did come across some could be possibly potentially disappointing news. So I was looking over on a website, and shout out to Spawn Wave because he references this website a lot. This is over on VGC, and apparently over in Japan, every physical third-party Switch 2 game seen in Japan so far has been a game key card requiring a download. So they're saying that one thing to take away from this is these are third-party titles. They aren't first-party Nintendo titles, but of course, for the most part, it doesn't matter to people when it comes to that. But I'll read what they have over there. Again, this is over on VGC. Pre-orders for Switch 2 software have gone live in Japan. Players have realized that every third-party release seen so far is a game key card. And basically says game key cards are Nintendo's new branding for cartridges that will require the game to be downloaded from the Switch 2 online store before the game can be played. The cartridge doesn't contain the game data, rather it's simply a key that enables a download. Game key cards are different from regular cards because they don't contain the full game data. Instead, the game key card is your key to downloading the full game to your system via the internet. After it's downloaded, you can play the game by inserting the game key card into your system and starting it up like a standard physical game card. Now, a few things to take away from this. One, this is in Japan. It's yet to be said whether or not this takes place here. Number two, it says that you need the game key card to download, right? So it's almost like getting a code in a box. As I mentioned multiple times here on the channel, it's replacing the code in the box, and they're trying to help prevent some piracy by having this game key. But here's the thing. Now, it goes on to talk about if 20 years from now they decide to shut down the Nintendo 2 Switch eShop, then they're saying that the game key card would be basically useless. Only useless if you don't download the game. So there is a fix to it. I'd imagine as many of smart minds we have in this community, we could come up with multiple ways where this won't be a complete wash. One being, hopefully they do have the option of either buying the game with the full game on the cartridge and not just leave it to the game key cards. But also, as I mentioned before too, these game key cards, it comes down to the developer, not Nintendo's thing. They did give the option because literally it's everywhere else, and that's what we have to realize. This is where the gaming industry is going. And as many game collectors and content creators you see that collect video games, we are a very small niche as a whole. They are not really catering to us. They are business, and they're going to do what's best for business and what's going to be the most profitable for them. But also, you could take away from this, if you simply download the game, you're good to go. So I would imagine, I haven't tried it yet, but it would be a good idea. I may do some research, and let me know down in the comment section below if you've already seen this from some other kind of creator. If it's a way to connect like an external hard drive, because you can download that data. You can choose to download it to your system, or you can download it to your SD card. Now, I'm sure people are like, all right, well, we bought the game already. We shouldn't have to spend money on a memory card, but that is an option. So that's something to consider. If you're downloading the data and you want to save it, you can always put it on an SD card and it's there. You don't have to worry about going back and downloading. You don't need an internet connection unless you are downloading the game. You already have it, it's there. You don't even need an internet connection to start the game up. Just for the Switch 2, in this case, the game key cards, you just have to insert that. But that's really no different than actually having the physical game, except the game data is just not on there. That's just giving you access and basically reassuring that you paid for the game. That's all it is. So the fix to this, and it may not be the fix that everybody wants to hear, and I'm sure people still going to complain about it because it's just simply not what they want. But the truth is, we're not always going to get what we want, especially when it comes to business. And people call Nintendo greedy for things like this, but I'm going to point this out again. It's not a Nintendo thing. And if they were to force a developer into a box to say that your only way in making games for our console, you have to put the entire game on the cartridge, everybody's not going to go for that. Especially when Xbox and PlayStation are giving the option as well, where pretty much none of their games are on the disc at all. Again, this isn't brand new to this space. It's not brand new. It's been going on for years, since the last generation of gaming, where, especially with this, they are essentially a game key. I don't know why people are not realizing that. This is not new. They just, I guess maybe the expectation is Nintendo was like the last hope for holding on to physical media. And in that case, they still can be, because I seriously doubt there will be any first-party Nintendo titles that will be a game key card. I seriously doubt it. You didn't see it on the Switch 1, for one, and we all know Nintendo's very protective over their IPs. They want you to play their stuff. They're not fans of emulation and all that. So they're going to, I can almost guarantee, not to mention, the pricing is always premium on first-party Nintendo titles. And if we're being honest, we are all excited that we're getting all this third-party support for the Nintendo Switch 2, but we got to be completely honest here. Everybody flocks over to Nintendo for the Nintendo first-party titles. And to be honest with you, in my opinion, as long as those games don't ever go to game key card, I'm pretty sure I can live with whether or not I don't have the ability to re-download the game. But again, what I would probably do, it may cost me some money, but I would just download the data. Hopefully I can find a way to potentially put it on an external hard drive, and maybe I can kick it back over if I want to play that game, you know. But again, this is only in Japan. We don't know what it's going to do in the West, but the likelihood is probably that it's accurate, because they're saying 11 out of the 12 third-party titles are game key cards. But again, that was up to the developer, and if that's the case, you have an option. Whether you feel like that is a solution for you or not, that's totally up to you. But if you want to maintain the value of what you spend, you do have choices. You can not buy the game, that's always a choice, or you can buy the game and just, save your data. Then you don't need the internet, you just keep your game key card, and in that case, that's pretty much like having a physical game. But what I would hope in the future is, but I doubt it though, I seriously doubt it this is going to happen, but it is a way to kind of satisfy both sides in this situation, where you give the option, if a game key card is available, you also have the option to pay a premium to get the full game. And I bet you everybody's going to flood the comments and in the conversations, well, I'm buying the game, I should already have all of it on there. But that's not the case. That's just simply not the case. And regardless, we know that the gaming industry is going towards a more digital base versus physical media. Physical media is fading, period. So unfortunately, that's just what it is. That's just what it is, and we just got to deal with it. I'm not a fan of it. Trust me, I'm the first one to be against digital versus physical. But there is a way to kind of try to maintain it. But I would hope that they have the option at some point that maybe pay a premium. Give me, the consumer, the option to have the full game. And I would rather pay a premium knowing that everything's there. And, maybe it could be something where it's an order-based thing where you go online and they do it by the person instead of mass producing, unless there's a call for it. And I think it'll be a call, but overall, you got to think, people. Again, we are a small group of people. We're one small community. It seems like it's a lot, but on the grand scheme of things, we are a very small community, very niche. A lot of kids now that's growing up, they don't care about keeping these games. They just want to download it. It's there. That's all they care about. Can they play it? That's their concern. So hopefully we can try to convince our youth and the people that's going to be involved in the gaming industry and leading into the future the importance of physical media. But at the end of the day, we're still talking about cost. And, you know, that's one thing that us gamers and collectors don't keep in mind. Like, it's business. It's business. Like, you had to realize that. But a good thing about that, we have companies like Strictly Limited and Limited Run who will swing in and create physical media for games that may have only had a digital release. But so that's a good thing. It's not like we don't have options available, and hopefully Limited Run will take heed to this and, you know, decide to put out a physical version of some of these favorite games. But let me know down in the comment section, what do you think about this news that we're hearing in Japan, that majority of the third-party titles are game key cards? What are your thoughts on the game key cards in general? Is it something that you feel like you will still purchase? Do you still see value in it? Let's start the conversation below. And until the next episode, peace.